Welcome to the Vibrant Living Network. Have you ever wondered what is possible beyond possible? What is the thing you've been wondering and inquiring about? Are you just feeling stuck and don't know why? Are you thinking or are you seeing? Seeing allows us to expand and have this other experience. We want to invite you for that wake-up call. We want to invite your spirit, your soul, so to be more alive, more connected. Glenn Brooks has been a life coach for over 33 years, author of Divorced to Patterns, Not Each Other, an explorer of what is possible. He has worked with people all around the world. Join us for a wake-up conversation, a dialogue with you. We will have some of the most interesting contributors. We will be talking to some of the most interesting people and have some of the most resourceful teachers, wisdom-filled people from around the world join us. Share your voice, ask the questions, become free of the known into a new world of possibility. We are going to talk about all the things you wonder about: how to live, how to heal, how to connect, how to love, how to be seen. Your life is precious. Enjoy it.
Hello, I'm Glenn Brooks. It's wonderful having you with us. And Meaning is everything. When we have a sense of meaning, we see differently, we move differently. And I want to say there's no lesson that we learn, one time intellectually. It's like a lesson that opens up, everything that I've ever thought you could say. It's like what's happened recently, and I shared it last week with Dr. Gail Randall and you guys. I want to welcome the whole team: Sherry Marquez, Lisa LaRose, Janet Carafa, Mrs. Aloha. I love that she's here. Dr. Gail Randall. So I started this thing years ago, which I want you to be a part of, it's called the Vibrant Living Challenge, the Vibrant Living Challenge. And anything that I thought I knew, I had to relearn again. And it's a beautiful thing. It kind of, those moments where you feel like you wish you wouldn't have to go for a certain lesson. So I was sort of in that place. And then through a series of unusual and I guess miraculous experiences, I had the honor of meeting Dr. Gail Randall, who's like my soul sister, soul guide, medical doctor extraordinaire, the most genuine contributor I've ever met. So, people give you advice or good advice. It's really been my dialogues in the last 30 days with Gail, my purification talks, my implementation, has given me new meaning to something that was just so devastating. So the meaning that we have when we're challenged or when we're having sort of a crisis is just like everything. That's why I developed a Vibrant Living Challenge. I didn't realize I would have the honor of meeting Gail and having this go to another whole level. And so meaning. So, people say, well, what can I do to make money? It's really, what could you do to give more meaning? Right? What could you do to give more meaning? And so it's just been amplified. Gail and Lisa and Janet. Janet, by the way, I want to say congratulations to myself. I'm the new coach and retreat center coordinator with Janet in Kauai. So thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you. I want to thank all the wonderful people in LA for LA, Vibrant Living LA, Vibrant Living New York, Vibrant Living Vermont, now Vibrant Living Portland, Oregon. I want to say all these, and this just happens during the week. And I am a little speechless and moved. When I pondered meeting for several hours last night, I just realized that with each of you, I've had my own passage. I've had a meaningful passage that's been so significant, and I haven't missed a day with Gail. I haven't missed one day with her, and it's been so powerful. And I want to encourage you guys to let yourself to be vulnerable. I was talking to Sherry this morning, and a few weeks ago I had a little run-in with the guy at the farmer's market. He runs the local farmer's market, and I realized it was around parking, by the way. And I realized I had this thing where it's like, I'm not going to let him boss me around or something. It was a little catch in my mind, and I made a little correction. And I'll tell you something, every time he sees me today backing up, and he runs over to the car and he says to me, Glenn, I've been taking lutein for my eyes. And I said, great, David, I'll see you at the farmer's market. But, we have these moments of perception shifts where we could have peace of mind, right? And they're like right there. And I want to say that my practice with Gail and the nutrients she sent me, it's not, I realize it's not just having a protocol, it's the soul of the protocol and the caring and the listening and the depth of that. So I want to just say to you guys, it's so much more than just the information. So, Gail, welcome as well. Welcome from my deep heart. I'm so happy you're here today, and welcome to all your wonderful people.
Thank you. Thank you.
Oh.
My pleasure.
I wanted to see if you wanted to share anything, because I wanted to do. By the way, Janet always on the conversations with Sherry. I love your contribution so much, Janet. I realize you're this world-class mind that tunes into people so deeply, and your highest honor you share with me is I speak in the language of the invisible. You live sharing with people how to become shapeshifters and listen to and notice and go beyond the what do we call that? We call that the oblivious obvious. The oblivious obvious.
The oblivious obvious. I love it.
Yeah.
Well, Glenn, you help me give words to the invisible. And that's what I gain so much here, being on the radio here with everybody, all these beautiful healers of dogs and people and the universe here. So, I mean, it's true. I've been working or playing, whatever, or just exploring silence and the depth of silence in motion and expression and mental, physical, spiritual, emotional, all that activated with. That's what happens when you do mime. That's what, which I didn't realize when I was doing it. I loved it, but I didn't have it in the framework of the healing arts, which you're placing it in here. And yet basically that's what it really is. That's what everything is if you do it with meaning, as we're talking about, right? If we connect.
Right.
And so the opportunity to work, be connected here with you and have you share all these experiences, I can see then, I can give words to the experiences of the mime, which are actually physicalizing the manifestation. Basically, it's the process of manifestation, a mime play. If I'm going to express on stage, it's sharing the energy of the expression of what I'm feeling with the audience, and it's a give and take. So that's with no words. And it's all about the energy exchange. So,
by the way, I want to say the last time I saw you, but 3 months ago.
Yeah.
I want to say that all my vibrant speakers are movers. So wonderful movers are wonderful speakers. So when I went to see you and the other gentleman I met, I brought 2 hula hoops. And I said, I said to this guy, all my speakers are movers, and we use hula hoops and instruments because we want to amplify the energy. And he looks at me and he goes, I'm not taking that hula hoop. And I said, actually, you really need to use it. And it's kind of our dojo requirement. And so Janet says, I'll take the hula hoop. I was like, wow, I love Janet so much. He's going to take the hula hoop after this guy, kind of made a fool of me. He was like, he goes, I'm past 25. I don't hula hoop anymore, So that meant a lot to me.
Not only that, but it was beautiful hula hoop.
Thank you.
It had all the colors and designs on it. Yeah. I mean, it was gorgeous.
The best hula hoop picture I've ever had taken, I did 3 hula hoops at one time, and Lisa snapped a picture in Pulaski Park. So thank you, Lisa, for that. I posted that picture, and I got so much fun just from that picture. And now with Gail on my team, I'm growing young, which I was going to start an ongoing series on growing young, and then Gail intervened and made me much younger. So I'm growing young, and I'm going to be hula hooping to another level, along with rebounding. That's
what you
and the guy totally missed out. The guy totally missed out because he wasn't being a child at heart. So you're never too young.
No.
I mean, never too old to act like a kid and have fun.
No. Well, it's kind of like being mindful, isn't it? I mean, like the hokey pokey. People laugh at the hokey pokey, but if you think of the word, you put your whole self in, you put your whole self out, you put your whole self in, and you move it all about. It's what we all do together. So we're all kind of like hula hooping together, energetically.
Yeah.
I like that.
No,
not worrying about what everybody else thinks.
Oh,
Just
yeah.
do it.
Oh, yeah. No, I
know it upset Glenn. That little interaction. He doesn't want my hoop.
That's right.
And he just didn't understand. And
right.
So, it was really an interesting. It really is interesting. So.
But
yeah,
I love what you did that day, Janet. I love
seed. So one day he'll get there because you planted the hula hoop seed for him. So
that's right. That's right.
Actually, that day, Janet was totally up in the air whether she was going to come up to Westchester, New York, and I was so happy. She called me back and said, "I'm just coming. I'm just going to be there." And it was like it felt so good. And then she said, "I don't even know why I resisted this." That was a wonderful day. It
really was.
Yeah.
Say yes day.
Say yes. So yesterday night I was at Target. Lisa helped me. I was in a little dilemma, which Lisa was amazing. She responded. We got to be demonstrators for each other. So because I forget, and I'm always happy when someone reminds me. If someone's more grateful or awake, great for them. I love acknowledging them. You know what? You're awake. I appreciate it. I was asleep. Good for you. So last night when I was waiting, I had a council with the people at Target about what dog they would want and why. And the consensus was about the healing power of the Newfoundland dog. So the Newfoundland dog it has rescued more people than any other dog on the planet. And the stories that I read about Newfies are always so amazing. So this guy last night at Target, we're in the middle of figuring out our business dilemma, told me that it was his number one choice. And so why don't they drool? Big deal. So this woman wrote a story that I wanted to share before we dive into the healing power of dogs with Sherry Marquez, the dog mystic. The story was that this woman was a lifeguard and she was training her Newfie. And what she would do is she would fake that she was drowning. So he would come out of his crate and rescue her. Well, she gave up on him because he never came out of his crate and he never cared that she seemed to be drowning. And she thought, well, I got a dud or something, so what? So one day she's going to go do the fake thing and she trips and actually she gets knocked out on the deck and she falls in the water. And he broke his cart within seconds and he rescued her. So things aren't as they appear. As a matter of fact, my teacher, Joel Goldsmith, said at the end of his life, he says, there's one word that will eradicate and heal everything, but everything. Just one word. And he said, it's not the word, it's the recognition of the word. I had this experience with all of you. I've had it so deeply. Every time I talk to Gail does something in that conversation that eradicates. So the word I'm about to say, it eradicates everything, but it's not the word. It's the awareness of the word. So the word is the calendar. So Goldsmith said that when people would come to see him, it was that one awareness that eradicated everything. And one of his big points, and I love this in his work, this is from the Thunder of Silence. This woman comes to see him, and she says, my husband's an alcoholic. And as she says it, he doesn't say anything, and she says, oh, my husband has the appearance of being an alcoholic. And with that, her husband stopped being an alcoholic. So the appearance of something is not the thing. It's just the appearance. Right? It's the appearance. So like as an example, when I do ceremony, I call it ceremony. I feel like Gail sees me, and there's something so profound about being seen that the healing of having someone see you is profound. So you can have a script that you run and run and run, but when someone sees you and they ask you again and again and again, there's a moment of innocence, and I feel in those moments of innocence we drop. So the calendar also we could say the calendar is hypnosis, mesmerism. It's really the script that we think is us, but it's not us. Mm-hmm. We just think it's us. Right? All right, Sherry Marquez, you're going to be in the main pyramid here now. And I know that we got all these geniuses. I'm sitting waiting for them. So this is like what, knee to knee with the dog mystic. I'll call on Gail first. Gail, what do you? You're great. Good afternoon. I'm so happy you're here and here and here.
Thank you.
So Gail, your dogs. You told me this morning they're angelic beings, and you have obviously a lot of reverence. What are you curious about the dog mystic and her hidden teachings that she's revealing to the world now? I like the way I said that. Yeah.
I think she's pointing out to us, the really magical, mystical parts of dogs, and I believe, and I'm sure she might agree with me that the dogs are our angels here on earth, and so she's communicating to people that may not understand that about their dog or think they're just animals or something other than sentient beings, but they are so sentient and so there, and they're there truly for us. That's why they have therapy dogs, because they're so healing and amazing. You agree with that, Sherry? Or?
I totally agree that they are angels. I mean, they're so receptive and open and forgiving, and just so full of love. They just want to give as much love as possible and receive the love back.
Yeah, I got an email from one of my previous employees, and what he has as his signature line is, "Be the person that your dog thinks you are." Yes, I love it.
Yes, I like that.
I know.
It's very true.
It's always been one of my favorites. I want to say that, Glenn, when you were talking about the parking lot at the Farmer's Market, it seems that since we've been embarking on this series, more and more, not that I don't have a lot of dogs in my life, but more and more dogs are showing up. And really? In the conversations with the people that you meet, just even an exchange, as I'm buying my dog treats, and somebody said, "Oh, I wish that my dog could still chew that." And I said, "Well, how old is your dog?" And they said, 15. I said, "Well, that's still, it's a lab." I said, "That doesn't have to be, a death sentence." And, certainly it's the food, and it made me think of you. And, having the teachers that show up and the wisdom that's shared. And I think even with humans, there's something that's programmed in around our belief around a longevity and how old something, should live for or whatever. And I know you're really committed to food, Sherry. So when somebody has an older dog, that there really is part of their heart and soul, a deep member of their family, what are some of the recommendations that you have for them, nutritionally or otherwise? Or I treat mine like a puppy. I just see them as puppies. And when somebody asks me how old they are, I said, "Oh, he's a puppy." So,
I have just been, I have for the longest time, once they came out with all the grain-free foods and all the different kinds of brands and everything. That's one thing that I pointed out. Like, let's say the comparison of Pedigree versus Earthborn or something like that. So Pedigree, there's just so many fillers and animal byproducts and everything like that. So and Pedigree is it's almost like feeding your dog McDonald's every single day. Whereas, let's say Earthborn or any of the other grain-free foods have the meats and the vegetables and the fruits and, like different minerals. But now there's a new study out that's saying that the grain-free foods is causing heart disease or congestive heart failure. So who knows? I mean, honestly, if there are any veterinarians or animal nutritionists that can maybe send me an email or give me a call at 954-816-9070 just to give me some more information so I can better my dogs, and then I can also teach my clients, because I mean I thought that we were doing a good thing with feeding grain-free, all the grain-free foods. So who knows exactly what's...
Well, it's not the fact that it's grain-free. Maybe they're adding something else that's not good for them. You know what I mean? Are they adding fats or something that dogs don't normally eat? I mean, dogs normally eat fats, but what... You know what I'm saying? Maybe it's not about the grain-free. Maybe it's about something else in there. Just
right. Some added things
like
that's...
Yeah.
I mean, I wouldn't mind cooking for my dogs or feeding my dogs certain things. I mean, if you have multiple dogs and dogs of all different sizes, it can get costly because you have to make sure that you're feeding the correct amount of proteins versus fruits and vegetables, because I mean, animals are, a dog is a meat eater. I mean, yes,
right.
Vegetarians have this outlook, and there are certain dog foods that have no meat in it and only fruits and vegetables. But I mean, if you think of wolves or wild dogs, and they're eating meat. They need right. They need the proteins. They need those proteins, and it's just natural.
They do.
Right.
Yeah. So I used to cook for my dogs. I don't know. Tell me if you think this is good. I used to buy organic buffalo meat and give them that, and
nice.
It was grass fed, and then with some vegetables like greens, and that's what I would feed my dogs. But they loved it, and they never got heart disease or any problems.
Right.
My one dog lived to be 19, so
that's wonderful.
Beautiful. Nice.
Yeah, she was with me she was my long time friend.
That's awesome.
I think the guy that I want to have on, and I want to I forgot his name, Lisa. The gentleman who used to play Robin on Batman.
Oh, Burt Ward.
Burt Ward. Okay, you get that a free trip to Florida because you just said that. Yeah, Burt Ward. So he lives with him and his wife live with 60 big dogs, and he has said that several of his big dogs, including Great Danes, have twice the longevity. He's selling this dog food nationally to fund big dog rescue. So I feel like it'd be really interesting having him on to talk about this big dog food and what's in it and why. Because he was just on Ellen talking about it, and I think that's absolutely fascinating. And yeah, I think that some vegetarians are a little impositional with their dogs. It doesn't make sense to me they're forcing the dog to be a vegan, but that's out there.
Right.
So.
Well, just for the record, I have been vegetarian for 36 years, and my dogs eat meat. Let's not pick on the vegetarian.
Awesome.
we do feed our dogs meat. So that's my story, and I'm sticking to it. Yeah.
Awesome.
Good.
My dog.
So in one of my favorite books, Dog Medicine, the woman, it's an incredible book, fairly recent. I think it's 2 years old. She's saying that she's on medication for bipolar, and she meets this dog, and basically she adopts him and pretty soon her whole brain chemistry changes, her whole life changes, and she felt that this dog carries a medicine, and she received the medicine. The medicine changed her mind. She went on to get married and have a very different life. So she attributes, and I guess in the Native American tradition, many traditions, animals are also carry medicines and have spiritual medicine. And I thought the book was great. My healing dog was a dog named Ben. They do for sure. Say something about it. What did you notice about the spiritual medicine of your dog?
Me?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, dogs to me represent. They're not only our earth angels, but they're about loyalty, and they're also teachers. Like wolves are teachers in Native American medicine as well, and they're very closely related to wolves and dogs. Dogs are teachers and healers, and our angels are protectors. That's their energy. That's their spiritual energy, and as totems, as Native American totems. They're called, they're holy dogs. So.
Sherry, if
they're
you had
beautiful
to say to people,
and amazing.
What would you say to people that, sometimes people could be around the medicine and not receive it? What would you want to say to people that really want to receive the medicine from their dogs? They want to be more receptive to what's there. Like the dog's there, but they don't receive the energy the way some people do. Like this woman, her whole life transformed. What allows us to receive the medicine from the dogs?
Just calming down and slow down and be aware and just be mindful of the togetherness of the dogs. You know what I'm saying? If you actually, especially when you have a really busy day and you have so many things on your mind, if you even just sit down, whether it be on the floor or on the couch, and you allow the dog to jump up on the couch, if you give yourself 10 minutes and just pet the dog and just be with them, feel that full connection, then that mind chatter will subside, and it lessens the anxiety. It makes you feel like, it just brings you back to reality. They're grounding. They're grounding animals, so that's the healers inside of them.
Yeah, so true.
We're gonna take a brief pause.
Beautiful.
Vibrant LA, Vibrant New York. I love you guys. I appreciate your listening and your response. Stay with us. Eli Stresses, enjoy it more with the dog mystic and the rest of the amazing panel. Dr. Gail Randall, Lisa LaRose, Janet Carafa, myself. Stay with us.
The Real Conscious Connection. OMTimes Radio. IOM FM. Host your show on IOM FM, the radio network of OMTimes Media, one of the more recognized brand names in the conscious community, and is backed by the extensive marketing reach of OMTimes. Hosting a show on IOM FM immediately connects you with our extensive dedicated community.
Conflict comes in many forms and often triggers a fight-or-flight response. Some of us gravitate toward conflict, while many will stop at little to nothing to avoid it. Unfortunately, what we resist will persist, which often forces us to face our fear and deal with it head-on. Join me during my show, Conflict Rising, as I discuss the important role of conflict with leaders who have moved through it successfully. Tune in Thursdays at 3 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Remember, it's always darkest before the dawn.
Opiates has taken everything and everyone I've ever loved away from me. Everything.
I blew my ankle out and I got prescribed pain pills by my doctor.
If making my detox public is going to help somebody, I'm all for it. I just wish I would have had a warning.
Opioid dependence can happen after just 5 days. Know the truth, spread the truth. A message from Truth, the Ad Council, and ONDCP.
Hello, I'm Glenn Brooks for the Vibrant Living Network, and you're listening to Vibrant Living. what Sherry just said, our dog mystic, Gail Randall, Lisa LaRose, Janet Carafa. I'm so excited about designing retreats and working with you guys around the retreats in Kauai. And also, I'm very excited about that. And I want to say that, so what Sherry just said, since you're right there, Janet, what Sherry just said is a practice. So in the Vibrant Living Challenge, I want to tell you guys what the Vibrant Living Challenge is, because that's really, in some sense, our whole network. So the Vibrant Living Challenge is a 3-month, and by the way, when I say the word challenge, I could also let you guys know I used to have this word down. What happened to it? It is another word, which I don't have right on my tongue. It is so to be in the practice of eradicating challenges together, we need each other, and we actually have a relational brain. So we do things, and we hold each other as being superheroes and brilliant. We actually become different. So that practice of being with your dog 20 minutes a day or 10 minutes a day, what Sherry said. So the thing that we do in the Vibrant Living Challenge, we come up with, I call claims. We don't have goals. We have claims. We claim we'd like this to be in our lives. And we basically communicate with the vulnerability and openness, but also a path of action to have it in our lives. So we have Gail, of course, with us, has these brilliant nutritional and energetic and spiritual purifications. It's said that actually miracles are right. They're natural. We need spiritual purification. So sitting with your dog is spiritual purification, taking a walk. And we have a group of us. So I want to invite you guys to be part of the Vibrant Living Challenge. It's 3 months, and we send the exemplifiers on vacation. We give away vacation to the exemplifiers, because as we exemplify something, it becomes more real and alive. Or as Gail said to me recently, I exemplified to that, which I thought was incredibly funny at the time. So being an example, thank you. Yes. I thought that was a humor leap. So the other thing I talk to people about is this idea of vertical leap. So what's a vertical leap? So a lot of our thinking is horizontal. We are very used to having linear thinking. So a vertical leap is when we go beyond and we see something. We see another part of the forest through breathing and basically sharing and using our language as, in some sense, a spiritual medium and a medium of purification, because we are what we say. We are what we speak. So your words of death and the words you speak, you are what you speak. So when we speak of good intent and awareness to each other, we do this wonderful thing called summoning. And another was summoning and invoking each other, which I've experienced in the last 35 days with Gail. It's at such an amplified level. It's been profound. So a lot of times what happens is, particularly with our healthcare and a lot of our lives, it's managed. Managed is not invoking and summoning by its nature. It's repetitiously letting you know the level of the problem. So I'll quote our friend Einstein. It says, we don't live at the level of the problem. So when you said that practice, Sherry, I think those are the things that, these practices. So we all have a Vibrant Vision book, and we share our claims. And you have a partner, and the whole group is your partner. And we meet off the air as well on things like Zoom and also in person. And we're going to, on my website, which is coming up again this week, Vibrant Living Network. I'll talk about the Vibrant Living Challenge. So you could experience this other depth of intimacy and connection. Dean Ornish, after 31 years, of working with heart patients around the world. So the intimacy by far is the greatest healer, beyond meditation, beyond yoga, by far. So the intimacy, what I love being intimate with you guys last week about what happened with Gail and my relationship with Dr. Randall, because it actually opened me up. It's kind of like when you open up, your vulnerability allows your body to receive nutrients and spiritual energy in another whole way. I want to plug Janet's retreat, which is, what's the name of your retreat, Janet? Is it Deeper Stillness coming up in Kauai?
Yes, Deeper Still. And
Still.
It's August 22nd to 29th. So it's coming up, and there are places available. We're going to be doing yoga each day. We'll be having nutrient-rich superfood, as well as, very healthy from the garden, beautiful foods. And we're going to take journeys to sacred spots on the island. Not that the whole island isn't sacred, but there are certain vortexes and certain places where For example, the Dalai Lama comes to Kauai to come to the place where the souls enter, and it's a gorgeous area. There's this amazing mountain and the beach and the ocean, and that's where the souls enter the earth. That's what is said. And so we're going to have, and Glenn will discuss with each of person their goals and set up so that each day we'll have an inquiry to ignite those goals and make sure that it's, the meaning of all our day is really activated.
Beautiful.
So the website, I have to actually go and teach yoga now. So,
Janet, have a beautiful day. I'm so excited. Aloha, much love to you, Janet. Thank you.
Yes.
And your website. Mention your website.
Yes.
So how do we sign up for the retreat, Janet?
Yes, if you go to you go to Hot Yoga Princeville, PRINCEVILLE, hotyogaprinceville.com/retreats. You go onto the retreat page, and you'll you'll have a description, and come and sign up. It's going to be life-changing and so much fun. Hula hoop life.
Good. Already.
Nice.
Nice. Okay.
Aloha. Thank you, Jen.
And relax.
Love you.
Aloha.
Okay.
Aloha. Janet's terrific. So the first time I met Janet, I met her backstage at the Academy of Music in Northampton, and we were going through all the famous actors and actresses that had been there. And next thing I knew, we did a performance together, which I believe if you go to YouTube and put Unscripted Power, Janet also gives a talk about being a world-class mime. There's so much I could say about her. She's one of the major people in New York that has drawn so many people. She's just amazing. People like Ben Stiller are her clients. She has a very high-profile clientele, and she's just amazing. And and another one of those wonderful is we call them meetings of the remarkable. So right before I had the highest blessing reading Dr. Gail Randall, which is my whole heart has changed physically. Everything about my life has changed since reading Gail. I can't even explain it. I probably met some pretty significant people in the field, but to be able to have this kind of daily interaction, I want you guys to be part of the Vibrant Living Challenge, because there's something about Dr. Bruce Lipton, who I've talked to and had this conversation, that in his book, The Biology of Belief, is that when you change your belief, you change your cells. Or as other people say, sometimes your beliefs are your diseases. So this is an opportunity to be in spiritual purification, spiritual immunity, and to practice being vulnerable. Like, one of these I love about relation to Gail, and I've never had this with any other doctor, is like, I just absolutely tell the truth. If I'm terrified, and she always has one of two responses, if not others. One is there's a protocol of healing, an antidote for everything. Two, I'll help you dispel it, decurse it, and bring healing energy on the scene. I'm there. And she's been in every nook and cranny, in every space. And I want to send my love to all the people at the office, Tony and Rhonda and Janet Montgomery, they've been so there. I've had to receive, a lot of people talk about giving. Receiving is another whole thing. To receive this in my life has given me another whole level of meaning. And I didn't realize, when I used to have this vision, Sherry and Lisa. At night, I would get up at night and I would see myself either having one or two Great Danes with me. And I realized that the dog thing was so strong. And meeting Sherry, I realized, wow, this is another significant message. And now we've exploded, with service dogs. And I think we're only scratching the surface, Sherry, of like what's really possible in terms of dogs being these healing conduits that actually educate us about our nervous system, our wonder. I know what I was going to say today. You are not your nervous system. But when you transform your nervous system and your mind, you feel different. When you start to live more from a parasympathetic, from your deeper nervous system, I mean, I could tell you that I came out of shock 35 days ago with Gail when I did it. So I'm going to call it a ceremony because I don't know how else to describe it. When I was in the parking lot, walking around a dumpster when Gail was speaking to me, I literally was at church that day. I was at temple that day. And the energy of that has kept such momentum. So momentum is a big deal. So we read stuff, we hear about stuff, but the momentum to live it. So I see that dogs give us the momentum and the reminder to be, to breathe, to pay attention, and they do that every day when they walk us. Aren't they wonderful reminders? So, Sherry, go ahead and give out for consultations and to be in touch with you. And you gave your number out so quick, you'd have to be a Speedy Gonzalez. Why don't you give out your number a couple times slow? All right.
Okay. So my website is smartpawsdogtraining.com, smartpawsdogtraining.com. And my phone number is 954-816-9070.
You know, me and Gail played the whole game this morning about you, Sherry. We're gonna Smart Dog Training, and the game was how do you spell your name? So I thought Gail meant how do you spell Marquez?
Oh, okay. Well, no, there's plenty of ways to spell Sherry.
How do you spell your name? Tell you how you spell your name. How do you spell your name?
You have to pick the right one. And then,
right. So many different ways to spell Sherry. Yes. So it's like Cherie, but it's Sherry. So Cherie.
Loved one. Beautiful.
Yes.
One,
right? Correct. And then my last name is Marquez, Marquez. The dog mystic of vibrant dogs.
I love it.
Absolutely.
I love it. No,
I have to say, my dogs, whenever we're on the air, I only have 3 of them with me right now, but they feel you, and the one wants to jump up and kind of get as close to the as possible, and the other one wants to feed, and the other one brings her ball. I think she's waiting for you to come play. So I have an open from my dog.
Well, I can't wait. I can't wait to come and visit and see all your dogs. That will be exciting for sure. Now, one thing I just wanted to explain about the Newfoundland story that you were saying.
Yes, please.
The woman was trying to force the dog to save her, and just pretend that she was drowning.
Yes.
But that dogs are so intelligent. I mean, that's just proof right there. I mean, the dog was like, I know that you're only fooling around and you're trying to trick me, and it's not really happening. So guess what? I'm not moving. So when she really needed it, that's exactly when he did his job. They do their jobs when they need to, not when you're trying to make believe and set them up. So they're just they have a sixth sense. They automatically have a sixth sense. I was working with a German Shepherd today, and the dog had a certain reaction to a man the other day, because she's very reactive on the leash to other dogs and some people. So this person was maybe 20 feet away, and normally with people she's fine and she walks past them with no problem. But even though this dog, this man was walking towards them and they were only 20 feet away, she started reacting and barking, and then of course the guy got all tense and kind of went on the grass and walked around them. And I said, well, what was his body stance and what was his body gesture when he was walking towards you? Because if the person is tense and showing the dominant dog that they're afraid of dogs, then that dominant dog automatically is going to pick that up. They have a sixth sense, even though you're not, the other person is not holding on to the leash, the energy is flowing. So the tension from that man was proving to the dog that I'm afraid of dogs. And then the dog was reacting, ha ha, you're afraid of me, so guess what? I'm going to react even more. So, dogs are just like I've said before, they have a sixth sense, and they're just like children. If they know they can get away with something, or if they know that they can, egg you on and get you even more agitated, then they will. It's like, ha ha, I'm annoying you, so I'm just going to keep on doing it. Oh, you're fearful of me? All right, cool. Then I'm going to give you a reason to be fearful of me. No problem. So they know, and they're very playful in regards to that, to different situations. So they are receptive. They're so open and receptive to everything that's going on around them.
Yeah.
There's a beautiful video online. I happen to like it. It's very beautiful. It's a beautiful video about this. These people live in Argentina. They live on an estate, and these two beautiful little girls, and they live with 10 Argentinian dogos. And one of the dogos beautiful. Went with them when they are incredibly beautiful. So one of the dogos was climbing. The girls were climbing a fig tree, and there was this huge puma sitting on the branch. And as he sprung to get the girls, the dogo killed the puma, which almost killed him. And what they did is they brought him back to the estate. It took them like 10 days, but he was like the family. They celebrated him. It was like his whole life was different after that because he'd saved the girls. And I realize in the dog world, there's the human factor. So sometimes when I talk to breeders, because I'm sort of in this, as you said, I'm letting the dog choose me now. I'm sort of just talking to some breeders and getting a sense. And my initial experience with a dogo, by the way, is I had a dogo on my porch one day, and I just love the dogo. But I can see they're very strong dogs. So my initial education was with Dr. Wayne London, the psychiatrist that I met. Oh, God, I met him over 25 years ago. For 10 years, he would share with me things that he thought were like the most relevant discoveries. What's the dog, Sherry? What dog am I going to say here? What's the dog that he studies? I'm just going blank here. The Rottweiler. Thank you. I knew you sent it to me telepathically. Thank you. So the Rottweiler deals in issues of life and death. And so what he told me about the Rottweiler is it pulls off the diseases that would kill a golden, for instance. So he called me up one day. He used to call me Boober. So Boober was a Hasidic mystic rabbi. And he always called me Boober. So he used to say to me, this is our relationship. Our relationship, he'd call me up and say, Boober, there's a dog that's good for you and your son. And because he did this thing called the grid work. So the grid work was actually fascinating. So when you did the grid work, it was a personal grid. So let's say you had a grid for you, Sherry. On the grid, he would kind of show you where the incoming and outgoing energies were, sort of similar to things like acupuncture. There was a key energy in your body, and when it was flowing, you were fine. And certain diseases, he was looking at things like Lou Gehrig's disease, Parkinson's, these sort of very hard to treat or mysterious illnesses. So he felt the Rottweiler opened the grid up for those people. So he was actually prescribing Rottweilers. He used to get a pad and prescribe them. So anyway, he told me to come get the dog, and it was an amazing experience, and it kind of altered. Then I did another series with someone who's actually going through kind of a health challenge. But he was saying, as an example, at the time, he was saying, if you notice these very kind of like very slim women, very kind of like, they're very feminine, but they're very petite, he was saying, they would adopt, as an example, of pit bulls. And he was saying they needed a different quality of masculinity in their lives. And so that fulfilled that. So his teaching, and by the way, his book is called Your Dog is Your Mirror, Kevin Behan. So I got really interested in this experience of dogs, not just reflecting energy, but mirroring energy and then giving energy. So Sherry, when I met you, I was totally, I wanted to just kept going in that mode. And you love the idea of me. Well, as you can see, I love the big dogs, but I want to say I love the little dogs. There's something about the big dogs, but I love all dogs. Sometimes I just have this thing about the big dogs. I don't know what it is. I just appreciate.
You're just drawn to the size and their strength and their beauty. So
they're protectors. Sherry, to build
Yes.
on that.
The protectors, they are protectors, yes.
Mm-hmm. As a physician and a healer, I have noticed many times, like all dogs, any kind of dog, any size, any breed, that they will help their master by actually literally taking on their pain, their illness, even will develop exactly the same illness as their master, if you want to call them that, or their owner, or their human person. Is that
yes.
something that you see?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yes,
so
I definitely.
In and of themselves, they're like they're almost like shamans. They're healers. They take on that energy.
Right. I mean, like, you know, they're open to. They're open and allowing to take on the troubles or the pain of the people, you know, and
it almost makes me sad sometimes, but they're so unconditional love that they take it on. They take it on.
Definitely. I mean, like, you know, it's like okay, for example, let's say if a person has cancer and is going through chemo. Well, I mean, like, you know, especially after the chemo session, when they're sick, that dog is right by their side. So of course they're feeding off of, you know, they're giving their comfort and their own healing energies just for you know, just to show that they're right next to their owners and they're not going anywhere. But I mean, you know, they're definitely absorbing the negative energy in regards to the sickness, whether it does get them sick or they're somehow able to take it in and transfer it out by however they do it. Who knows? I mean, I don't know if there's any studies that have been done, but I mean, yes, they're definitely.
Well, I've seen a number of times. You know, patient with colitis, dog gets colitis. Patient with cancer, dog gets cancer. I mean, you know,
right?
It's amazing.
Well, I mean, especially with you know, that book, the dog is your mirror. I mean, like when a person has high anxiety, if the dog, I guess, if the dog is not receptive, it all depends. Every single dog is different, but I mean, like there's plenty of dogs that are more anxious because the owners are anxious, you know, and you know, every single dog has their own personality. So I mean, like, you know, there's some dogs that have I guess a lower self-esteem, and they're not as confident as other dogs. So if that dog with like a lower self-esteem has an owner that has severe anxiety, then that dog can pick up the same anxiety that the owner has. You know, I mean, like, you know, a dog that is a therapy dog for a person with high anxiety or PTSD, their confidence, they have high confidence, and nothing is going to lessen their ability to do their job to calm the person down. You know, that's what that's what they were brought to this earth to do, is to comfort, to comfort and to change the mindset. But then there's other dogs that really are receptive to their owners' feelings and ailments. So it's all different. Every dog has their own personality, just like every person has their own personality.
Yeah. Now, in working with people, that they always say that either people start to look like their dogs or the dogs look like their people. Is that something that you've noticed in the years of working with dogs, Sherry? Just curious.
It's amazing. It's so amazing how there's plenty of people and dogs that really do look alike. I mean, it's really cool. It's really, really cool. I would need to get a Puli or another dog with dreadlocks. Look like me.
That's true. There's actually a kind of a fun book to put together, where I've seen books on dogs that have been rescued and transformations. That's kind of a fun thing, and then put a little story in about how the dog trained the person as you went to train the dog.
Yes. I mean, I know that there has been either an article or a book or, some posts that show you the picture of the person and the picture of the dog. And it's like, oh, my gosh, they look so much alike. So it's very interesting. Very, very interesting.
You know what I want to get into a little bit on our second half. We got coming up this next half is called Making Miracles. Making Miracles. And we got Dr. Gloria Kay going to join us in a moment or two. What I'm curious about, I used to go to this doctor, Dr. Peter Hindenburger, and he used to actually, when we saw him as a family, he always felt we had a family aura. And he would treat the family aura, the whole energy of the family. So what I'm curious, have you seen people come to you with dogs where they told you that their health changed or allergies went away? Like, have people shared medicinal dog stories with you that have struck you?
Well, I mean, definitely there's been plenty of people that it's lowered their blood pressure, and I mean, the most effective is how many people are able to live a normal life because of their dog, because before they had severe social anxiety or PTSD, and the dog is allowing them to be out in society and enjoy their time with not worrying about all the people or what other people are thinking.
We're going to continue Making Miracles, how energy in life impacts. So I want you guys to share stories of how touch, long distance healing, prayer, intense. Well, I'll talk about what transforms our well-being and our energy, along with Dr. Gloria Kay, and Making Miracles. Stay with us.
Feed your soul with Waves of Consciousness on OMTimes Radio.
Ascending Hearts is no ordinary dating site, but a spiritual dating site with a purpose, to link you with your soulmate. We engineer the serendipity so you can trust that you will attune with someone that has the same matching vibration as you. Ascending Hearts, the conscious dating site for the spiritually aware. Try Ascending Hearts for free. AscendingHearts.com.
I'm Kathy Williams, host of Sexy Mom Abundant Life radio show on Thursdays at 5 p.m. Eastern, 2 p.m. Pacific. On the show, we explore living abundantly in every area of your life. Ways to let go of limiting patterns and beliefs and to step into the flow of creativity and possibility, knowing you are supported by the universe.
Hi, we're the Goo Goo Dolls. We're fortunate that our daughters have what they need to grow and learn. But that isn't the case for nearly 13 million kids in the U.S. that struggle with hunger.
Childhood hunger is a heartbreaking reality that Feeding America is working to change. Each year, the Feeding America network of food banks rescues billions of pounds of good food that would have gone to waste and provides it to families and children in need.
You can help kids in need in your community by visiting feedingamerica.org.
Brought to you by Feeding America and the Ad Council.
Hello, you're listening to the Vibrant Living Network, Making Miracles. The miracles just happen. Are we part of miracles? What allows miracles? How many times have you wondered about that? I have an upcoming taping, which I want to promote right now, with Dr. Gail Randall and my dear, dear friend, Dr. Tom. He's not a doctor, actually. He's a medicinal healer, Tom Monty. He's written a new book called Unexpected Healings. You know, a lot of times we just expect to degenerate, or we expect that it might be bad news. In Unexpected Healings, this is going to be a dialogue I'm going to have with Tom Monty and Gail. And I'm just exuberant. How I met Dr. Gail, Dr. Gloria K. I'm letting my brain settle into my body right now. That's all that's happening. I want to share with you guys that humor and the ability to give a different meaning to something is still so senior. So, well, first I want to welcome Dr. Gloria K. Let you know you've been such a wonderful contribution. Yeah, you've been a wonderful contribution on so many levels. I realize our work together has stretched me, has asked me to experience aspects of myself that I didn't have before. You know, it kind of opened up another dimension. So I want to say that your relationship to someone that you consider a healer in your life is a big deal. So as an example, early on, all the doctors that I went to managed me, you know, early on. But I didn't really have someone who could reach in my soul and kind of be at that level. So I say one of the things and I want to ask you all your definition of a miracle, how you experience miracles. But one of the miracles for me has been that I could let people in at a much deeper level and have that transform my cells and my awareness. And the medicinalness of the relationship is, I want to say it's everything. And I want to say today that with Dr. Gail Randall, Gloria K., Sherry in relation to the dogs, it just really opened up another doorway for this thing we call miracles, which to me has to do with a shift of perception that allows us to experience this in some sense, this divine flow, this energy that a lot of times we don't articulate, but we experience and people make reference to, particularly when they would say they're doing a practice or it just occurs to them. So let's start off with that, Gloria Tay. Let's go around the panel, our Making Miracle panel, and talk about the experiences you have with the miraculous or miracles and how that's transformed you as a human being and how that's transferred into your work. So welcome. Why don't you start, Gloria? Why don't you start the ceremony?
All right.
Welcome.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I'm so aware of being grateful, and I know gratitude is the new buzzword, but I genuinely mean that. When I help someone, I am filled with gratitude, and I feel that I am blessed to be in a position to help someone. So whether the condition is an extreme one or if it's a modest one, I still experience being present with someone and an exchange of energy and allowing myself to be in their energy field and vice versa. So that's how it affects me, just absolute gratitude. I just feel so blessed to have been gifted this way and to be able to use my gift to help so many people.
Mm-hmm. That's beautiful.
That's my own opening comment.
Opening comment is we're going to have one. We're going to serve the meal now. All the entrees are coming out. I think that was a beautiful opening.
Perfect.
Gail, go ahead, Gail. What bubbles to you? And I want to say that I need to say that you've been a conduit, and my miracle. Let's put it this way: during the day, I noticed yesterday, Gail and Gloria and Sherry, my humorous moment of the day was I was heading into Trader Joe's, and there was this beautiful black woman talking to a friend on her phone, talking about someone she knew that was a narcissist. So I get to practice unscripted power, and it's one of my favorite things to do in the day. So I Unscripted power is the ability to go with your impulse, your improvisational kid-like impulse. That way you don't control the screen yourself. And so I walked up to her, and and before I walk up to someone, I really sense they could receive and sense me. I don't surprise them, but I kind of rhythmically participate with them before I get that close to them. And she sees me, and I kind of whisper to her, I say, do you need to warn me about any narcissist in the store? And then I just pause. And I think she starts to bubble up. You know what I mean? She's starting to bubble up, and she says, what? And I says, should I go in Trader Joe's because there might be narcissists in there? And I could just see I love it when someone's kind of like they know you're playing, but it's like they don't know how to articulate it. To me, that was a miracle, right? That was a miracle. So I just want to say my miracle was yesterday with that beautiful black woman in front of Trader Joe's. And Gail, I was just going to say that you've made me so much more lighter. I'm so much more lighter. I feel like my humor is coming back. And if I do say so myself, I feel one of the miracles, I feel like, I don't know, we need to ask all your clients or the wonderful women at your office. I think you've had a humor breakthrough. I find that since I met you, you're funnier. I just want to acknowledge that. And that's a miracle. Miracle of humor.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Well, I don't think it was any mistake that it all began by a dumpster. I think the dumpster was a miracle. No, truly, because
I got to take a picture. Hey,
you were able.
Now I got to tell people. I got to tell people what you mean by that, though. Oh, you got to tell people. Go ahead.
Try. So,
please,
because you were able to release a lot of belief systems that weren't serving you anymore, and things that you believed or sentences that had been passed upon you that weren't serving you and weren't helping you in your healing path. And when we worked, shamanically and just through conversation, you were able to change your perspective and your vision, and your new vision came in, your new way of seeing things and working with things, and you let the rest of that stuff go into the dumpster. It was basically emotional garbage. It's emotional garbage. Things from the past, from your childhood, from the present, from sentences other doctors had put upon you, and you were ready and willing to let it go. And when you let it go, the miracle began to unfold. You're like a flower. I love talking to you every day because more and more I see you flowering and evolving and going higher and higher in your spiral evolutionary way. And it's just a beautiful, miraculous process. So thank you.
No, you're deeply welcome.
I like the explanation there. Perfect explanation. It was just a blossoming of awareness. I like that.
Now what I got to do? I got to do is now I got to post the pictures. So listen, I'm in. This is, I don't know, let's say a month and a half ago, and I got to use unusual language. What the heck? I kind of received, unfortunately, what I would call in retrospect maybe a medical curse, or a diagnostic trauma. So it was passed on to me in a way that I just didn't know what to do with it. So I saw a picture of Gail, Dr. Randall, and it was like, oh, call her. I was like in my bones. You know when your bones, sometimes your bones say yes, my bones said yes. I left a message, which I love doing. And so I'm driving back, and I'm not really in my days. I don't know, Adora, if you're listening, I want to take you to take pictures of me. You're a good photographer. I want to show you guys my first meeting with Dr. Gilbert. I want to show you where I was, because when I got the call, it was, I don't know if you know, I don't care what time it was, but when Tony called me from Dr. Randall's office, and she said, I have Dr. Randall on the phone. It's one of the funniest things. Like, it's almost like someone saying to you, do you mind if I give you like $50 million? It was sort of like, she goes, can you speak now? And I'm like, yes. And I'm already taking the turn. And there's a convenience store with a big dumpster in the back. And I wanted to visit with Gail uninterrupted. I didn't want to be around any people. And I was crying. I was listening to her. And I was, the dumpster's right there. And she says to me, I love you. And when this happened, you were alone. And it was like I was just taking this in, where I'm right by the store, but I kind of feel like I'm in this other place. with Gail, and I'm listening to her, and it's like I just feel like, oh my God, I just felt like a lifting in my soul and my body, like, oh my God, this is actually going to lift. I'm actually going to, I might get through this. And it's funny, recently, I feel like I'm not just going to get through it now. I feel like I'm probably going to be stronger and more mobile and maybe more intelligent and playful and loving. And so it's been, when it first happened, yes, that dumpster, I don't know why. I guess I wanted that. I wanted to create my own little space in the back of the store. And Gail was laying she was saying stuff to me. Like as soon as I told her what had happened, she just said so many things that were like, I was terrified to say at the time. I knew are accurate, and that she was going to be there, and it was going to work out. And immediately she was going to send me some supplements. I almost felt like it was the entrance of grace. And grace is such a beautiful. If you guys believe in karma, grace is something that takes you beyond karma. How's that for an idea? So I felt an immediate experience of grace.
Your next book, Glenn. The
title
of your next book is My Miracle Dumpster. My Miracle Dumpster.
It's so. I got to take pictures. I don't know, Adora, if you're listening. I know you want to come on the air today and get a healing with Dr. Gloria. So come on the air and do a healing. It feels really. I feel like I'm at a Christian Science church sharing a testimony. It's like I just feel so. It feels dang good. It feels, it's funny. So last night when I was prepping for the program today with you, Sherry, and with Dr. Gloria, Dr. Gail, I was just thinking like meaning is so much. Very similar. I met Gloria, and the first several healings I had with Gloria, long distance. I couldn't wait for that day part to occur. It was like I just felt I could sink in. Now, the concern I had, the thing that had really challenged me so deeply was something I experienced when I was 12 years old. I feared that I had damaged my eyes. And when I was 12 years old, I said to my mother, after walking in the eclipse, I said, Mom, I really need to go to the doctor. And I remember it was obviously very emotional. And as Gail points out to me, I was very young. But I knew I needed to go to the doctor because I started to doubt my whole world. As a matter of fact, when I was probably 16, I had the experience again. I was at a tennis match, and I wonder if I had something happening with my eyes. So I never did something that was deep and specific to that. I never really brought it fully out of my unconscious, my closet, if you will. And so when Gloria first worked on me, one of the things my experience was, how do I say this well? I experienced that when Dr. Gloria said she was going in, now this is a pretty powerful thing to say to someone. She would say to me, I'm going through the back of your head and I'm going to work on your eyes. And all I really wanted to do was kind of cry. I just felt like when I got really startled, my eyes, and I want you guys to think about this and call in. Because when I had the diagnosis, I just felt like I didn't know how to get inside myself in a way where I could feel my eyes, I could feel the energy, and so I want to say those early appointments with you, Gloria, they were remote. I would come back, and I'd be like, oh my God, this is just so wonderful. Because I had been around some professionals. Now, not one professional, interestingly enough, and I think you guys can relate to this, no one asked if they could touch me. No one asked if they could lay their hands upon me. I had 2 doctors say they would pray for me after they scared the daylights out of me. But no one had ever really did something where I felt they were kind of a laying on of hands that I could. See, the interesting thing about working with Dr. Gloria is I could feel when you said that you were in a remote healing, and you said, now I'm going through the front of your head, the front of your, like the front of your eyes. There's a delicious intimacy in this that's so different than our ordinary experience. So I think another thing that was happening was I was feeling the energy. And those of you that are maybe a little reserved or skeptical, it's like there's something, and I want to invite you guys to call in later and experience a healing session with Dr. Gloria. Sherry, I experience energy healing from dogs. Obviously, I do, which I know is going to maybe stretch some people. So as a dog mystic, what do you want to say about miracles in your life and how they occur? What's your experience of miracles?
Well, I mean, I 100% believe in miracles and in the energies all around us. But I mean, like, you know, in regards to the miracles of dogs, it's just amazing how their calmness can be transferred to people so easily and so quickly. It's as long as the person is receptive, then they're just natural healers. They're natural healers, and they're here to relax us and show us more love that society needs today. That's for sure. So,
yeah,
you know, if we learn from the animals, then we can definitely learn a lot, because they work as a team and they have so much love to give, so much love and knowledge. So that's my take on it. But I definitely believe in miracles, for sure.
My take is I think I'm going to visit a dumpster every day now. Gail reminded me that dumpsters have powerful purification energy that I had forgotten about.
With your dog.
Oh, yeah. No, that's definitely true.
With your dog that you're looking for and you're searching for.
Well, you told me let the dog come to me. So I'm just every day I'm letting the dog come to me.
It will.
I'm just letting the dog, you know. So Gloria, what's bubbling for you? Like, you told me you worked with someone yesterday from, was it the Sudan? Where were you working with the person yesterday? Somewhere around the world, right?
I know. I got an email from a very distraught mother living in Sri Lanka. Her 1.5-year-old son was suffering from an accident that had occurred when he was 7 months. And normally I'm able to get a sense of what's going on when someone gives me information like that. But in this case, I wasn't able to tune in. So I asked Mona to send me a picture, and she did. And it was a very sad picture of a child who looked lifeless almost. And so I'm not sure I'm being effective, but I'm doing my best. I started working with the child's head, and I've been focusing on the solar plexus and the chest. So I will email her later today and ask if there's any change. If there is a change, I expect it to be subtle. The child might be more lively, and I do believe in miracles. However, to restore this child to a state prior to the accident, I don't think that's likely. But I'm doing my best, and I'd like to say, as far as I know, I always do my best. So that's the little boy in Sri Lanka.
Now
that's all we can do. Is you can that's all you can do is just do your best and put your intentions that you're going to heal, and the divine will guide you as well. So
I am in total agreement with that. Yes, and I act as a conduit. I mean, I'm not a clairvoyant. I do see generally where the issue is, but I don't diagnose. So I'm not a medical intuitive, but I can generally see where the issues are in the body, and it's not always where the main area of complaint is. So, and I'm also working with someone on the East Coast who has had chest pain, and they haven't been able to determine what her issues are. She's going for a medical test. However, I was able to see that the muscles surrounding her heart and the muscles in her back were contributing to the pain that she was having and the shortness of breath. So I addressed the muscles rather than the heart. So that's what the issue is, and I get a lot of information when someone asks for help. And fortunately, I've trained myself to just acknowledge when someone does ask for help. Otherwise, when I was younger, I used to make myself quite crazy because I would see everything and I wasn't able to discriminate. And I won't work on anyone unless I have permission. So that's number one. But I would see these imbalances, and it would be very disturbing. So now I just tune in when I'm asked to tune in.
Let me do this. Perfect. Let me just check one thing. So I have an idea, Gloria. If you guys are willing, are you Sherry or are you guys willing to have? I'm willing. I just want people to have an experience of you working on someone and what a session's like.
Oh, sure.
So, thank you so much, Chris. You're so in tune. Thank you. So, Adora, you hear me, Adora?
Hi.
You know, hey, I was. Did you hear the story I was just telling about that dumpster that I had the miraculous healing with Dr. Gail?
I heard part of it, not all of it.
You heard part of it. I just want to tell you, the only person, because we've driven by this dumpster. So since Gail, Dr. Gail Randall, and Sherry Marquez, and Dr. Gloria, I just have an intimacy with that dumpster, and I realize you've driven by this dumpster. So I think since you're such a good photographer, I want to take pictures and post them because it was just dang miraculous what happened there, and I realize you know where it is, and it's anyway. Just so welcome, and I invited you to come on so you could experience a long distance healing with Dr. Gloria.
Thank you.
You're very welcome. So go ahead and talk to Dr. Gloria. Welcome, and I want to introduce you to. I want to introduce you to Dr. Gail and Sherry, the mystic dog facilitator coach. When you look in the sky and see the moon, you can see the mystic dog facilitator known as Sherry as well.
Hello, Adora. Welcome.
Hi.
Hi, Adora. I kind of know you, sort of.
Oh, really?
I mean, you've been there when we spoke. I mean, you've sort of been part of the conversation when we've spoken before.
Oh, on the show.
I was talking to Gail when me and you were going for a hike.
Oh, right.
Yeah. Gail, I think what it is, Gail is funnier than when you heard her last time.
Gotcha. Why is that?
So go ahead and speak. I'm just. Because she's committed to purification and lightening up. I think that's what it is. Why don't you speak to Dr. Gloria? Share with her. Be as intimate and vulnerable as you can be, so Gloria can help you. Okay.
Okay, sounds good.
Okay.
Well, hello, and yes, why don't you tell me what your issues are that you'd like me to address?
Yeah, so it's really a very recent thing that's happened. I have sometimes, some months, pretty bad premenstrual symptoms, such as sluggishness, depression, exhaustion, and generally not feeling well, either within my body just not feeling good, and also sometimes headaches, migraine headaches. And I'm at that period. Wish the period was actually here, but so I am really having a hard time today. I've pretty much been on the couch other than making myself food, and also just been in kind of a downward spiral in my mind in the last 2 days due to something out of my control. And so, yeah, I'm just very weepy. I'm either weepy or irritable, kind of back and forth, and just needing some relief.
Sure. Well, let me run some energy through you. Do you have a headache today as well?
On and off, a very slight headache. It's actually today what's happening is stemming from the base of my neck, radiating out to the left shoulder. It was the right shoulder prior to the other day, and now it's the left shoulder.
Okay. All right. And is there a pain in your head as well, or no? Not today.
There's been a slight headache on and off today.
Okay. Well, I'll start it for now, and let's see what we can manage with the shoulders.
Okay,
so
great.
I'm at the back of your neck, and I'm just going to hang there for a little bit. So I'm working on this area. Are you also bloated today?
Not intensely. Just definitely feel ready to be on my moon time. Very full.
Okay. All right. So what's your range of motion with your arms? Does the issue of your shoulders limit that?
Say that again?
So are your shoulders limiting how you can use your arms?
It's more tension and pain radiating out from my spine.
From the cervical area?
Yeah, and then going up kind of into my neck some as well. I actually turned my head left and this morning when I was meditating, and then all of a sudden it kind of seized up.
Oh, that wasn't very pleasant.
No.
All right, so now I'm working on the left side of your neck. So you might start to feel a sensation somewhere in your body as I'm doing this. There you go. Now just gently turn your head left to right and see if that's any easier. How does that feel?
Yeah, it feels a little freer for sure.
A little freer. All right, I'm going to continue with that left side. So I'm implanting energy directly on the left side. Sometimes it's kind of an amorphous form, but this is directly on the left side now.
I'm just going to say to people, you're listening to Making Miracles along with Gail Randall, my beloved inside doctor. She's on our team, our Vibrant Living team. We got Sherry Marquez, the dog mystic. Dr. Gloria Kay has worked with people long distance 50 years, including world-class athletes. And she has this ability to work remotely. So Adora is in actually Massachusetts and Gloria is in Santa Barbara. And anything you want to share with people, just to create a visual, I guess, so they can get a sense, because it's for a lot of people this is so different. Is there anything you want to share, Gloria?
Right. So I get a sense of where a slight darkness in the neck, and that's what I'm infusing. However, I think that's corrected now. So once again, turn your head left to right and tell me how you're feeling, please.
Okay. Yeah, that feels much freer.
Feels much freer. Okay. So now I'm going to go to the front of your face. And
yeah, I was going to say my jaw feels been really tight.
Yes, yes. So, excuse me. And is it more on the left side or the right side? Where the tightness is?
I think usually it's both sides, but I'm feeling it more on my left.
Right, okay. I'm incorrect. All right, so I'm going to get in there now and just get some movement going in the jaw. So what I'm doing, I'm directing energy mid-jaw between your ear and your chin. And there I am. And now I'm going to go to your right side. So very frequently, the main area of distress will show a deficit, and the opposite side will show an over-energy. So sometimes I'm drawn to the side opposite of where the main complaint is, so that I need to shift that energy from one side to the other. But I think we're having some progress with the jaw now. Now, do you want to open it? Would you please open your mouth widely? And with your mouth open widely, move your mouth to the right, and then to the left, and back to center. And now tell me how your jaw feels.
It's still pretty tight.
So that wasn't it. Okay, I'm going to go inside your mouth now. Again, starting on the left side. I'm inside, and I'm just infusing the external part of your lower mouth. So I'm in the mouth, in the lower part, and I think I got it. So what I'm seeing is an opening where I can really transfer this energy. And it's moving pretty rapidly. And what I'm sensing, and you may not be sensing it, there's a pulsing in there.
Yep, I was just going to say that.
Oh, really? Okay, good.
Yeah. I was going to say, I feel my jaw pulsing. It feels like energy's moving.
Beautiful. So I'm going to continue with that for a little bit. And now let's go to the right side and tell me how your right side is doing, your jaw on the right side.
It's somewhat tight still.
Then I'm going to go in your mouth on the right side. And I'll do the same thing that I did on the left side. So I'm in there now, and I'll just be sending energy into your mouth on the left side, the lower left side. Do you know if you grind your teeth at night?
I used to. I'm not sure if I still do, but I did used to have TMJ and grind my teeth.
Oh, really? Okay. Well, I think maybe that's why I am intuitively going into your mouth rather than just staying externally on the jaw. So again, a little pulsing on that right side. Being just a tad stubborn, but it's receiving. Okay, now open your mouth widely and move your mouth to the right and to the left and then back to the center and tell me how you're doing, please.
Significantly looser. It definitely helped.
Great. Now I'm going to go to the thyroid area.
Which I, by the way, don't have a thyroid.
Okay.
Energetically I do, but I don't have a thyroid.
I don't think it's a thyroid issue, but I'm going to go to that area just so that we know where I am. So I'm in there.
Gloria, I'm gonna ask Gail or Sherry if they have anything, like they could kind of represent the audience to us. See if they have any comments. They're like representing the audience. Gail, you have anything you want to share that for the audience or from anything you think's relevant?
Well, I've had the good fortune of working with Gloria a little bit, so I'm impressed not only from this session she's doing, but personally how incredibly intuitive she is and how she can actually tune into the person from afar and find the root cause, which may not even be what the person is complaining about outwardly, but then that, at least with me, I have a left foot problem, and then she found something in my left buttocks region, and I went to my chiropractor, and he told me where my gluteal attachment was in my upper greater trochanter which is the outside of your
We're just gonna take a brief pause. We'll take a brief pause. We'll continue. Dr. Gloria, Making Miracles Hour. That's hearing Dr. Gail Randall. And Sherry Marquez, Dog Mystic, Stay with us. I'm Glenn Brooks with the Vibrant Living Network. Your life's precious. Enjoy it. Stay with us.
The future of Internet radio is here. OMTimes Radio. IOM FM.
OMTimes magazine is one of the leading online content providers of positivity, wellness, and personal empowerment. A philanthropic organization, their net proceeds are funneled to support worldwide charity initiatives via Humanity Healing International. Through their commitment to creating community and providing conscious content, they aspire to uplift humanity on a global scale. Connect at omtimes.com. OMTimes, creating a more conscious lifestyle.
Hello, I'm Sandy Sedgbeer, host of OMTimes Magazine's flagship radio show, What is Going On? My passion is sifting through information, research, and innovations from New Thought teachers, speakers, and researchers pushing back the boundaries of what we know about life, energy, metaphysics, and the universe. I love shifting perceptions about who we are, why we're here, and how quickly impossible becomes normal when we open our minds, expand our awareness, and accept that the only limits that exist are those we place upon ourselves. So if you're the kind of forward-thinking, eager investigator of what lies beyond the current reality that most perceive, why not make a date to come play with me in the field of possibilities at 4 p.m. Pacific Time, 7 p.m. Eastern Time every Thursday, and together we can discover what's really going on.
Imagine being fired because of who you love. Imagine being denied medical treatment because of who you marry. Imagine being evicted because of who you are. Millions of Americans don't have to imagine this. They have to live it. Because in 31 states, it's legal to discriminate against LGBT people. Get the facts at beyondido.org. Brought to you by the Gill Foundation and the Ad Council.
Hello, I'm Glenn Brooks. You're listening to Making Miracles on the Vibrant Living Network, where Dr. Gloria Kay has been doing long-distance, or what's known as remote healing, with clients all around the world. She's working on my friend Adora right now, and Adora called in with some various symptoms, feedback from her body. Dr. Gail Whale was with us. She was sharing about her experience. You want to continue sharing, and then we'll go to Sherry, and then we'll go right back to you and Adora, our main, you're in our main talent show right now, guys. I wanted Gail and Sherry just anything they're feeling or noticing, or they feel that the audience will be curious about. Anything else, Gail?
Oh, I was just saying that when I went to my chiropractor, he totally affirmed, and I didn't even realize it, that where my gluteal muscle goes into my trochanter, which is your upper, like your hip, which is your butt, where Gloria said I had a problem, that there was a problem there. So I thought that was amazing. She's just so intuitive and sees these things and feels these things from hundreds of miles away, across the planet. And I have a lot of respect and love for Gloria.
Thank you, Gail.
Sherry, you've been worked on by as the session's going on. You were worked on by Dr. Gloria. Any comments or things that you feel you want to share? Or you think would be good for the audience that you want to share for the audience?
Well, I mean, it's remote healing is absolutely amazing because for anybody that doesn't know about different forms of healing, everything is energy. And, energy is moving all around us, even if we can't feel it. So as a healer, we're just the vessel. We're just the vessel. The energy is traveling through our bodies, and then we're able to pass on the healing energies to the body, whether it be animal or human. And I mean, it's just it's beautiful to have had that experience of having a healing, because because she knows exactly like where she's going, and to have the energy feeling and the actual like intuitive knowledge of what she's seeing as well is just amazing. So it's so special to be able to heal people worldwide, people and animals worldwide. So I thank you for that.
And I thank you. How beautiful.
No problem.
Well, I'd like to get back to that missing thyroid. So I'm working in that area, but could you tell me what happened so that you don't currently have a thyroid?
Yeah. So basically, I was only, I think I was 19. I was like 21 years old in college, and I had a benign cold nodule growth that was making my thyroid grow pretty rapidly to the point where it was collapsing my trachea some. It was making it hard to swallow and breathe. And they ended up telling me that it was over half non-functional and that removing the whole thing was the best option because it could become thyroid cancer in the future. So I had my entire thyroid removed at 21.
Oh, my. Have you had to do any pharmaceuticals as a result of that?
Yeah, so I'm on lifelong thyroid medicine. I take a natural form, which is pig thyroid hormone, and I have to take it twice a day, every day, for the rest of my life.
My. Well, that's quite a statement. So, tell me about your feelings about having to do that and the misfortune of having had that issue with your thyroid. Do you still hold emotional issues around that? That's a question.
Yeah, I don't like having to be dependent on any kind of pharmaceutical. There's always that fear of if for some reason I couldn't get what I needed, that I would become very sick. So yeah, it's not a fun thing to have to do and to take and to have to continue to do the rest of my life, but it's become very much just given and I have to do it. So
you're more or less accepting of it?
Yeah, it's been quite a few years. I'm now almost 40, so it's been, almost 20 years.
Right. Okay. Well, I just wanted to address that. And so I'm sure you're feeling better. I don't need to put intentions in your mind, but it seems to me like things have cleared a little bit. Are you sensing that?
Yes, and I'm going to finally get off the couch because my brother just arrived to give me a hug goodbye.
Oh. Well, may I go on, or do you need to say
I have to let him in the building. Come on up.
Actually, let him in the building. I actually want to ask a question of the panel, Adora. But you want to continue to get it worked on when you come back?
Let me tell you what I just want to do your heart chakra and your solar plexus. It shouldn't take more than 3 or 4 minutes.
Okay. Come on up.
You want to do it now, or do you want to attend?
She's just letting
Sorry, he's calling me at the same time.
Yeah.
So the reason I wanted to do the heart chakra and the solar plexus is just to infuse the body fully with energy, because this malaise that she was experiencing was pretty uncomfortable. So this way, the energy will be charging her chakras, and she should be more in balance. And we're almost complete. So I know she has a life apart from being on the radio, and it shouldn't take very long.
No, actually, this is what she does full time, Gloria.
Oh,
I'm just joking. I'm teasing. I'm just joking. I have a burning question though, because Adora said something that was very intriguing to me, and I want to run it by the whole panel and you, Gloria. So, Adora, did you want to ask anything or before you go, or Adora?
What's that? Yeah,
I just wanted to see if you wanted to ask anything or you had anything to share before you go.
No, thank you so much. I do feel much better. I really appreciate it.
If you don't mind, I feel like I'm unfinished. It'll just take me a moment. Just want to get into
Okay, no problem. I can stay on. My brother knows we're doing this, so I can stay on for a little longer.
It'll just be a little bit. So I'm in the heart chakra. This should lift your emotions. And now I'm going to the solar plexus. And so the psychological or there's so many interpretations of the chakras, but one of them is it's the seat of control. So it could be that you've been trying to control your moods and, be civilized and et cetera, because I know how devastating this can feel. So I just want to be there for a moment, and we'll let that go. And I feel complete now. So I'm ready to hear responses or whatever, but I just felt unfinished there. I'm complete.
Adora, the question I was going to bring up for the panel, so Dr. Gail Reynolds, as a medical doctor herself, has worked with people for 40 years around all kinds of conditions. The questions I wanted to ask, so Adora, you said 2 or 3 times that you have to take this medication. And what I'm curious about, because they're talking about making miracles today, what I'm curious about is what your experience is, Gloria, around people who come to you who have been told they have to take a medication for the rest of their life, because it's pretty common. And once it gets in a person's subconscious, it's strong. And I'm not saying Adora does or doesn't, but I wanted to ask, and then I wanted to ask Gail to comment about medications, because this is it's very strong on a number of levels, the way Adora said it. And so I'm just curious to ask you about your experience around medications that people have been told they need to be on the rest of life, in terms of working with you, and any comments you have around medication and healing, or any thoughts you have around specific to that.
And you're directing that to me?
Well, why don't you answer, and then Gail, I'd love Gail to answer as well.
I have to.
So why don't you go first, Gloria?
Yeah, I have to honor that that's probably medically the thing that she needs to do. If there's another alternative, I wouldn't know about it. But not having a thyroid, the body really needs to have some support. So, it depends on what the issue is. But in this case, something needs to support the fact that there's no thyroid there. That would be
you're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. In this case, since her body does not have that organ, and the body absolutely essentially needs thyroid, it's the base of the pyramid for your metabolism. She's on one of the best kinds, by the way. She's on bioidentical thyroid. So there's bioidentical thyroid from pigs. It's also, they have it from horses, but they also now have it where they start with a sweet potato molecule and can make it, which I kind of like. So it doesn't have to be from an animal. But it's all the same, and it all supports your body because it has T3 and T4, both the active and inactive forms. So, but she has to take that. Now, other medications like high blood pressure medication, things that are antidepressants or tranquilizers, all those kind of things, can be removed if you do the right things to support the body, mind, and spirit. But you really, it's a process, and you can't just stop them. You have to do it in a very organized way where you're working with someone that knows what they're doing. And if you can heal the emotional problem, you can get off some of these things, and you have to taper them. You can't just stop them suddenly. That could be even dangerous. And with blood pressure medication, if you heal the body, you heal the emotions, but also maybe an addiction to salt, or maybe get somebody exercising more, get on some natural things like magnesium. A lot of medications you can get off of, if that helps you, Glenn. But yes. But not thyroid.
Okay.
Especially if you don't have.
Dora, did you want to share anything before you go to visit with your brother? Anything else you want to share?
Well, I just thank you so much. That was really, really wonderful. It really helped shift my space and my body, and thank you. I appreciate it.
Oh,
thanks, Adora. Much love.
Nice to have you on. But one thing that you can do, like if you have to take a pill, Adora, what you do, because you have to, you thank that pill. So instead of hating that pill because you have to be on it, you thank it for being your helper. And then it changes the vibration of that medicine in your body. And it makes you more really whole, Yeah, right.
That's wonderful.
It's like being mindful about what.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's like being mindful about what you eat. You also be mindful about anything you intake into your body.
Right.
So you take it in with gratitude and thanks. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Thanks so much.
That's a beautiful thought.
Thanks, Adora. Thank you. I got to show you the dumpster that I healed myself at with Gail's assistance. Let's do a dumpster dive and picture taking together.
Sounds good.
Thank you. And clearly, Dr. Gail, I'll be very careful with dumpster diving. There'll be proper protocol as prescribed by you.
You need to
listening to the Vibrant Living Network. You're listening to the Vibrant Living Network, Making Miracles, and I thought that was pretty profound. It seemed like you were able to tune in really deeply to Adora pretty quickly and catch some subtleties that she concurred with you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Gloria.
Right. And it was interesting that I was attracted to and I said thyroid area, not thyroid, So that was interesting that I was attracted there and that you had an issue in the past, yeah.
Why don't you go ahead and give out your website too? Give out your website.
Sure. It's Dr. Gloria K. That's KAYE.com.
One more time.
My name is Gloria, KAYE.com, and it's just DR in front of my name. I have a doctorate in clinical psychology.
All right. Well, I guess the only thing that's missing here is the joke of the day, and I believe, Sherry, you want to leave us with the joke of the day, or?
I'd like to say my website.
No, thank you.
Please.
I'm not.
Thank you. My
Gail, you're stepping up. You're stepping up for the humorful moment here. This is a big deal.
Thank you. Okay, this is not the joke, though. Okay, this is not a joke. My website
please.
is drgmrandall.com. So drgodmotherrandall.com. My Instagram is at Dr. Gail, Gayle, Randall, Randall, and my Facebook is Dr. Gail, one word, and Randall, space Randall. So thank you. The joke of the day.
Thank you.
Dumpsters can also be miracles.
Okay, that's powerful and true. And I'm very grateful for the dumpster that I was able to do that profound piece of work, which continues to blossom. And Sherry, why don't you leave us something? Give out your website and give us something. Leave us a dog mystic comment. Give us something up to leave to have so people could profoundly appreciate their dogs. Give out your website and give us a comment, which you would, if you would, please.
Okay. My website is smartpawsdogtraining.com. Again, smartpawsdogtraining.com. And let's see, happy dogs equal happy owners. That's my mission statement. I like that. And one thing that yes, I hope. And the universe has surrounded us with the perfect teachers. Animals are in the present all the time, and their secret power is to pull us in with them. So they want us to be here now, not in the future, not in the past, just be here now.
They're very in the moment. I love that.
Yes.
I want to thank Gail, Dr. Gail Randall, Dr. Gloria Kay, Sherry, and you guys. And stay tuned for us next week for the Vibrant Living Network. And I want to encourage you guys, as I put my website back up, and you learn more from Dr. Gail's website, Dr. Gloria, the Vibrant Living Challenge allows you to really bring this as a way of life into your life and gain the momentum so you could live this path of action. It's only a path of action that's part of that also has to do with receptivity. So I guess my greatest lesson has been so many, but I would say that learning to live at 80%, not 100%. You just allow yourself that 20% gap to receive more and celebrate this miracle life that we have. Your life's precious and joy. I want to thank Chris and all my friends at the OMTimes Radio Network, my partner here on the Vibrant Living Network. Thank you. Your life's precious and joy. And I'm Glenn Brooks.
Thank you. Have a wonderful weekend.
Thank you.
Yes. Bye-bye.
Bye.